Otros 11 bonitas que veo en San Juan, disfrutando de todas esas cosas que extrañan los que se van, disfrutando de noches de esas que ya no se dan, pero queriendo volver a la última vez. Ya lo sabes, te miré y contarte las cosas que no te conté. ¿Te parece a mi crush? Y tirarte las fotos que no te tiré.
Y sería todo que tú me toques el cuido.
Yo veo tu nombre y me salen suspiros. No sé si son petardos o si son tiros. Mi blanquita, perico, mi kilo. Yo estoy en PR tranquilo, pero debí tirar más fotos de cuando te tuve. Debí darte más besos y abrazos las veces que pude. Hey, ojalá que los míos nunca se muden. Y si hoy me emborracho, pues que me ayuden.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Crossing Jordans and I'm Jordan and we do all things travel. That includes bus, plane, car, ship, boat, whatever you can think. And in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and do a price breakdown on my Punta Cana trip that I did. That should have been my latest upload. The main reason why I wanted to go ahead and do this video is because I said I was going to do it. And when I say something on camera, I try to go ahead and fulfill that so I'm not looking like a liar. I can also hold myself accountable to doing a video that I said I'm going to do on camera. I know a lot of times you see a lot of influencers or just people in general going on these luxury vacations and you go to like do some research to see how much it costs and like the hotel costs $2,000 for 3 nights. Yeah, we're not going to do that. One day, just today is not today. So I wanted to kind of show that you can still go to those locations that you wanted to go to and do some of the activities that you see everyone doing online, but at a fraction of the price. If you do see me looking down, I do have my notes down here in my laptop just to make sure that I'm giving you the exact prices of everything. I'm gonna see if I can make this video under 15 minutes. Hey y'all, sorry about that. It was indeed not 15 minutes, but watch the video. Thanks, bye. Because your girl liked the app, so let's go straight into the video. All right, so the first thing I want to jump into is the hotel. The hotel I stayed at was the Grand Bávaro Princess. Princess is a big company that has like a whole bunch of other hotels, so that they don't just have hotels in the Dominican Republic, but mainly primarily I think it's the Dominican Republic, Mexico, and Jamaica. I stayed at the family resort of the Grand Bávaro Princess. I did, beforehand, I was booked for the adult only location in Punta Cana that is a little bit closer to the airport, but I literally had to like change this trip about 4 times. I initially booked it for February. I didn't go until actually June because stuff was happening and work was popping up, so it just didn't feel like the best time to do that. I'm gonna jump into how I was able to do that a little bit later, but just to catch up on the hotel was great. I had no issues. The rooms were gigantic. Because I stayed on the family side, I did have the twin bed room in my room, as well as a queen. I want to say it was a queen bed, and the bathroom was pretty spacious, huge shower, humongous, and then it had a separate toilet, it had a dual vanity, and then the humongous balcony, which was very much needed. I was out there quite a bit, so I did enjoy that. Just to go ahead and say the price of that was $379.59. Now there was a tax on that, so the tax was an additional $100 and something bucks. So at the end I paid about $485.88, which in my opinion for 3 nights is pretty good. Now if you were to get that same room and to be with somebody else, that price is gonna go up just a little bit more. I found that it went up not even past $500. So just keep in mind all of these prices are for 1 person, so it is going to be a little bit more for the second person or maybe for a third person, but not much. So if you go on the website, just kind of make sure you put the amount of people that you want in, and it should pop up. I do find that the Princess brand is more budget friendly than most hotels in Punta Cana. They always have a sale going on. I booked directly through the website because they had the best deal, as well as they had a discount pricing. As well as booking through the website, you do not have to pay the money up front. They do have the option of paying when you get there. So I thought that was a really good option for people, just to book out as far as advance as you can to get the best deal. Because if I would have went the time I had booked, probably about the third time, I would have got the best deal. But because I waited literally like a week before I went and rebooked it, I didn't get the best deal. But I still think for the price I paid for booking it last minute, for it to be summertime, that deal was amazing. So as far as the property is huge, there's plenty of things to do. They had like a board where they had like the shows that was going on every night. They had shopping there. They had like the hotel staff doing like line dances at night, or like showing you how to do certain dances like the bachata at night, or like just singing, and music was playing everywhere. So I feel like there was always something to do. Food was available at all times. They had a 24/7 pug that was available that played sports. You can get like burgers and nachos and chicken nuggets and like stuff like that, like bar type of food or sports type of food. I will say some menu items are hit or miss. I didn't like the burgers, but everything else I had was great. I will say, as far as food, I think it was pretty standard for an all-inclusive resort. You know, all-inclusives are very hit or miss when it comes to food. I will say the dinner options are the best meals that you're gonna have at this resort. Every meal I had at dinner was phenomenal, and I will say the buffet had a lot of fresh fruits, a lot of fresh like veggies, and that's what I gravitated more towards when I did go to the buffet. The fried items were okay. They just ended up like, you can just tell they were sitting out for a while. So I ended up usually getting like something like pasta, or like something that's not fried, because it ended up tasting a lot better. But the breakfast, I would say, was like, it was hit or miss. I will say go for the omelet station. Omelets are always going to be the go-to because you're going to get it fixed right when you order it. So omelets are a go. Everything else was like hit or miss. The pastries were really good though. I would go for the pastries, but it was just okay to me personally. It was just okay. That was breakfast. Lunch, I didn't get a lot of time to eat lunch just because I was either busy doing something on the computer, or I was out on an excursion doing something that had lunch out. But dinner for sure was really good. I didn't go to the steakhouse, the seafood restaurant, or the Italian restaurant. However, everything else I had, like I went to the sushi restaurant, the teppanyaki restaurant, and the Indian restaurant, and all of those were delicious. I will say, as soon as you touch down, book your dinner reservations. You can either go to the atrium, like the main lobby, and book your reservations through there, or you can go use the app, or you can go to the website and go through the portal and book online through your phone, and book immediately, because they do not have availability later in the night if you don't book it immediately. And I would just book all of your restaurants as soon as you get there for all the days you're doing there, so you can get the best times for yourself. Now, Wi-Fi was only available in the lobby, not in the rooms. They only gave you like an hour of free Wi-Fi for each person in the room, which was a little bit disappointing, but it was fine. You can work your way around it. You're also on vacation, so I was like, I don't need to be on my phone all that much. I was working also while I was there, so I kind of did need it. So I just ended up in the lobby to use the Wi-Fi when I did need it. There are multiple pools on this site. There is also not a family side, a side that's not dedicated to the family, and it's also a platinum status. So there's 3 different sections of the hotel. They also had swim ups on the family side, which was a good option, as well as a main pool for everybody else to be on there, as well as like a kid splash area. which was nice for if you do have kids and looking for stuff that's a little bit close so you don't have to walk far away, because the resort is huge. There's plenty of vegetation. Like the resort was it was beautiful. Like there were like peacocks in everywhere, and like just the vegetation. There was like even a little trail you can go and walk through and just kind of like get your exercise in. There is a gym on site. I didn't get to go to it just because it was just so much going on for the short period of time I was there. I enjoyed the pool. The beach area was beautiful. There wasn't much seaweed, which was appreciated. But you know, seaweed is something you can't necessarily help. It's natural. It happens. So seaweed, I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. Drinks and everything were good. They were pretty strong. The ones I had like in restaurant. The ones at the pool are a little weaker, but that's just given. But I feel like all the drinks I had were delicious. All of it is included, which was nice. Room service is an additional charge. So if you are looking to book at this resort, just know that is an additional charge. Everything in the room, like beers, water, sodas, any type of snack they left in the room, is all included, which was nice as well, because I know some resorts do charge for the mini bar, and they did not. In my room, they did leave like a shovel and a bucket for kids, as well as a beach bag, which was much appreciated. There were also robes and slippers, as well as an ironer and an ironing board. So those were great, and also came with an umbrella, which is also very handy. So that is the review side. Now getting there, flights. When we think about Punta Cana and going to the Dominican Republic, we thinking flights are going to be very pricey. Now I will say, depending on where you live, this is going to vary. I am located in North Carolina, and I primarily fly out of Raleigh-Durham International Airport. So RDU is my designated airport that I like to fly out of. It's just the most convenient, because I do not like flying out of Charlotte, because no, just no to Charlotte. I'm gonna try to not do Charlotte at any given time. So I prefer fly out of RDU. And now from RDU, we do have a lot of options as far as international airlines as well as budget airlines. And I chose to fly Avelo to Punta Cana. Now, at the time when I was first looking, the flights were a little decent, because it wasn't quite summertime, or I wasn't looking to go during the summertime. So flights were like ranging between like $400 and $300, which was pretty good for Punta Cana, because you know, typically flights out of North Carolina, I can't necessarily say for any other states. I know if you're in Florida, it's probably a little bit cheaper, but typically those flights range between $600 and $700. So the fact that it was around like $300 or $400 was really good. Now, let me tell you, I booked my flight for $245.79. Yeah, so that was the cheapest flight I have ever seen to Punta Cana. So when I seen it, I was like, okay, let me see what days, because you know, if you looked at Avelo, they only have certain days where they do fly out from RDU, where they do fly out to Punta Cana. So I wanted to go ahead and see if the days were lined up to what I wanted, and the exact days that I was trying to go is the exact days they had for me to fly out. Now, I would have preferred to stay an extra day just to give myself some time to enjoy the resort, but because of the flights that they only had coming back that Friday. So I was like, I'm just gonna take what I can get, because this is the cheapest thing that I could find, and we're trying to do this on a budget, and we're trying to see how, you know, the least amount of money we can spend to be able to do this trip. So seeing that price, I went ahead, I booked it immediately. Now I will say, me having to rebook this trip 4 times because something popped up and I couldn't go, or I felt like it was just not the best time for me to go. I did end up spending another, I want to say $60, because with Avelo, you don't get charged for canceling your flight. You don't get charged for changing your flight, which is really nice. You do just have to pay the difference between the flights. So within that time frame, I think I didn't have to pay anything other than like twice. It was like $30 difference one of the times, and another $30 difference another one of the times. So I only had to pay $60 more to move flight. Hopefully you don't have to be like me and keep moving your flight. You can lock in that price that you decided to go in the first place. But just to check, I'm gonna check and see what the prices are looking like right now. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in now. Let's see, Punta Cana. There we go. I don't know. So as you can see, they have like options here where it's like breaking up. So they only have like those 4-day windows to come to RDU and go back. I'm sure for other states, they have different timings that they go. But let's look a little bit farther out. Let's say the end of August for one person. Obviously, because it's just me. Let's see what the flights are looking like now. It's a little bit farther out. Y'all, it's $99 for the one way. So they got 7:45 a.m. to 11:20. Click that, and then they got the returning flight for 117. So the total amount for this flight is $215.79, which is insane. That's insane pricing. So if you are in the RDU area, you could go on a Punta Cana trip right now. It's currently the end of July. If you book it now, you can literally go trip for a couple of two. Now say for instance a couple of two, that's gonna be $430 and some change, $431 and some change. So even then, that's still good for 2 flights round trip from RDU to Punta Cana. So I will say Avail is a great choice. So those are good prices. I'm gonna do the same thing for the hotel. So I'm at the Princess website for the Grand Bávaro Princess that I stayed at in my vlog, and they do have available the adult in the not family area. When at the time I was booking, because it was last minute, they didn't have any more rooms available. So they do have those rooms available now, and for $162 per night if you pay up front, and then $167 if you decide to pay at the property, or pay or if you want free cancellation before the 26th of next month. These are the rooms that I stayed in, the family club, and they have that for $217 and $224. I'm assuming these prices are a little bit up just because this is kind of like the last month of summer and people are wanting to get one last vacation in. Of course, you can change dates, but I'm just going off of the flight deal that I got with Availo. But say for instance, you and just another person, so a couple, want to go ahead and do the suite, I would select this, and the total price with all the taxes and everything included would be $485, which would be something exactly the price that I paid for just one person, just to be on the regular side of the resort, which probably will have less kids. And then here it is, some of the things they offer on the website that you can add during your booking, which are pretty decent prices. And yeah, I think that's a steal. Being able to do this at this price I think it's a great deal. All right, just searching on Google Flights really quickly, and we're gonna do those same dates, the 27th through the 30th. Bam. Okay. Now, as you can see, Availo popped up. Frontier, Southwest, some other airlines. We'll look at the other flights. Now, this price is not bad. I do prefer not to do Frontier if it's not domestic. That's just my personal preference. It seems like Spirit also has a flight that's pretty similar. These prices are cheaper than usual because I said typically that price would go to Punta Cana is around $600, and it can go all the way up to about $700, sometimes even $900. So it looks like during this time, just because kids are going back to school, it's a little bit cheaper to go. So but this is our, like, the Availo is our prime price. So because Availo is a budget friendly airline, I will say you're gonna have to pay for your bags. Please buy bags when you're booking your ticket. It's gonna be hell of a lot cheaper. So you're gonna probably pay about $35 to $40 when you're booking your trip versus when you go to the airport or even right before, after you book, that price shoots up to double. So please purchase your bags if you can in advance or when you're purchasing your ticket, because you're gonna save a lot of money now. Now, I didn't purchase a bag, I used a personal, and I used this handy dandy bag, which is just under the size that a Velo requires. A Velo requires a smaller personal bag. I wanna say they do 17 inches lengthwise instead of the traditional 18 that you would get with basically majority of the other airlines. So I like to use this. It's pretty wide. I think it's 9 inches this way. It's like 8 or 9 inches. There's plenty of pockets. And then when you unzip it, it's basically like a packing cube, and then you literally just put your things in here like you would do a suitcase. They have like this waterproof bag so you can put your toiletries, so just in case something spill, it won't spill over everything else. They have some niche things. They also have another compartment for your laptop, iPad, anything that needs to go in there, like documents, as well as 2 other pockets and something to, you can put your cup, or I like to put my hairbrush in here if I don't have a cup, as well as these straps back here. I would say because they have this padding right here, it doesn't hurt your back as much. And they have these clips, get in there and then tie it, so just in case your bag is a little bit bulky, you can squish it down a little bit. And I used this for my whole entire trip. I was able to fit everything in it, and I had 0 issues, so I didn't have to pay for bags because we were only there for 3 nights. So I was very strategic on what I wanted to pack, and it also helps you not to overpack because there's no space to overpack. So if you want to save money on bags, I recommend, if you're gonna go for no longer than 4 days, this is probably the way to go. And I put my makeup, all of my toiletries and everything in this bag, and I didn't have any issues because I know my girls, we got a whole bunch of stuff we need to bring. So yeah, I'll to save some money on bags, I would recommend that, and just carry it. You can also use it as a backpack if you're going on an excursion when you get there, and just take everything out and use it as a regular backpack. And it's small enough to not be so bulky, and it won't be like a huge backpack, which is why it's a 16 inch and not an 18 inch, so it's small enough. I did get this on Amazon. I will try to link it if I can find it. They also have other sizes if you did want a bigger size, like the size up to like a 17 or 18. I will try to link it if I can find it. If I can't, I'm sorry in advance. So I did one excursion on this trip, and it was with Nestless, if I believe that's how it's pronounced. It is a company that partners with the really big hotels, not just Dominican Republic, but also in Mexico as well, which is nice. So you just pick your location and where you're going to, and they literally have a whole website full of things. I will say the pricing is pretty decent depending on what it is. A little tip, if you wait a couple days before your vacation, they have a tendency to put things on sale. So if you wait last minute, you will get a good sale, but it's not guaranteed that it's not going to be sold out. So of course you got that aspect of it. But if you don't mind like switching your excursion when you right before you get there, just in case something sell out, I will wait last minute, because my excursion did end up going on sale about 30% off, if not more, when I waited to book it. So the excursion I did was like a full day excursion. It was to go see the waterfall and go to the island, as well as horseback riding. I would say it was completely worth it. I paid about $123 for all day excursion, which also included lunch and breakfast, which was really nice. I made it back to my hotel early enough to have dinner, so it was no issues. I was good and ready and hungry. We also did have stops by a convenience store that sold like little trinkets like magnets and dresses and hats, and they did have food. It had some empanadas, so I stopped and got empanadas on the way back because I was getting a little hungry. It was nice that we had bathroom stops. The ride was a couple hours. I really like that excursion. If you watch my previous vlog, you will see kind of like how that went. So I'm just gonna go ahead and to refer that vlog is. And also, if you just want to see the visual how everything is and not listen to me talk, go watch the vlogs. This is a 2-part series. If you watch this video before those videos, like and comment and watch some of it if you're interested in it. So I think that includes the video. I don't have anything else to say other than this is just how I did it. I'm not an expert in any way. I'm just a girl that like to travel. I hope this is very helpful to people who are looking to go on vacation and don't have a lot of money to spend or don't want to spend a lot of time going to some places. Just want to do something really quickly. I know it's hard out here nowadays trying to just do regular day life, let alone try to go on a vacation and spend extra money that you probably don't think you have. But it is completely possible if you plan it out in advance enough and maybe use some of these tips that I shared with you today. I hope this gave some value in some sort of way. I invite you guys, if you have been liking my channel or you've been seeing my face every now and then on your side of your screen, you decide to click the video to come and subscribe. I see y'all watching and I don't see y'all subscribing and interact with me. I try my best to respond to every comment that you guys leave. I invite you to subscribe to the channel if you found any value in this video. But as always, have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned because we got some more traveling coming up via plane and ship. See you next time. Bye.